You're watching the Urban Debate on Mirror Now. I'm Faye. Thank you for joining us. We were faced with an interesting question today when we were trying to decide what our topic of discussion will be on this show. There are several other news channels that are currently focusing on a celebrity squabble between Hrithik Roshan and Kangana Ranaut to decide what the details of their private affairs really were and who's right and who is wrong. There's a certain amount of prime time that is being dedicated to this celebrity squabble. On the other hand, in Bangalore, another person has died because the government has not filled the potholes as promised. This comes after 2 people died last week and several people died in Elphinstone, all because of government negligence. I believe personally, when you dedicate prime time to the personal lives of celebrities and not to the lives of real people, we devalue those lives even further. Which is why on Mirror Now, we have not gotten into the celebrity squabble, because I do not believe it is a good and a productive use of time, especially on a national channel. We are going to focus on government negligence and why that government negligence in this day and age is still costing us lives. Take a look.
Mirror Now has been raising the problem of Bengaluru's killer potholes, but they refused to heed our words. When we demanded answers, they made false promises. But now their lies stand exposed. Another life has been lost. Another person killed due to the negligence of civic bodies. 47-year-old Radha Anjanappa lost her life when her nephew tried to navigate around a pothole but lost his balance. She was mowed down by a speeding truck.
A killer pothole here in Bengaluru has claimed another life. The deceased has been identified as 47-year-old Radha Anjanappa. In fact, when she was travelling along with her nephew, Ravi Kumar, who was the rider, we understand that he lost balance after he spotted a pothole and he tried to navigate through the pothole, is what we are given to understand.
The deaths on these killer roads has pushed the government into damage control. The Chief Minister has directed the local civic body to fix all roads in 15 days, something that should have been done before the monsoon. The fight against killer potholes isn't Bengaluru's fight alone. It is an urban issue plaguing every city in the country. Citizens battling potholes every day, travelling in such appalling conditions and risking their lives. But why should citizens vote for governments that cannot provide an amenity as basic as good roads? What gives these authorities the right to put the lives of citizens at risk? Mirror Now report.
Well, that's our focus this evening, about why governments are still not taking our lives seriously, and if the laws should be amended to include a certain level of culpability to the governments that are costing us our lives. I want you to vote in on this show. You can join us on invol.in and leave your question that will automatically pop up on the screen. Alternatively, our phone lines are available at the bottom of the screen as well. Joining me on the show, Ejaz Ilmi, spokesperson of the BJP. N.A. Harris of the Congress, he's a member of the Legislative Assembly. D. Rupa, IPS officer, ex-DIG Prisons, now Commissioner of Road Safety and Traffic in Bangalore. Dadarao Bilore is an activist from Mumbai who's filled 450 potholes himself after he lost his son in a similar incident. Amjad Ullah Khan is the spokesperson of the Majlis Bachao Tahreek of Hyderabad that suffers from a similar problem. Ramakant Gaur is a lawyer with the Supreme Court. I welcome all of you to this conversation. I'm going to start with D. Rupa. D. Rupa, thank you for joining us. You are currently in charge of safety and traffic in the city of Bangalore. We understand from the government that spoke to us last week that Bangalore has 6,400 killer potholes that have not been filled by a government that went around counting the potholes but did not fill them. Is there a likelihood that more lives in Bangalore will be lost at this rate?
Okay, Faye, let me first congratulate you for picking up this citizen-centric topic on prime time. It is so much necessary. Well, me being in the police department, I look after road safety, concerned particularly about road accidents. And the potholes filling is more of the responsibility of the corporation, but I'll come to that. What we have done is, now there is a Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill being passed in the Parliament. It has already been passed by the Lok Sabha and it is now in the upper house and it is before the select committee. They asked for suggestions, proposals, what we could incorporate more so that we could make it more the one with teeth, the act with teeth. And therefore we have proposed in that saying that the road construction agencies have to be made criminally liable. The road construction agency, depending on the road, that is National Highway Authority for the national highways, the state highway authorities are being built by the PWD, the city roads are being built by the corporations. So whoever is a construction agency, they should be made culpable, criminally liable if accidents arise out of potholes. Not just potholes, unscientific humps, as well as sometimes during construction of the road itself, the material is dumped haphazard on wayside as well as in the center of the roads, also leading to accidents. The agencies, the government departments, the officers have to be made criminally liable. This is what we have said. Now, there are no absolute figures available as to how many people died due to potholes. That is because when accident is reported in the police stations, generally the term used is accident due to overspeeding and negligent driving, and this covers the reason of the accident. It's generic and there is no specific attempt made to find out whether it was because of the potholes. Therefore, the real time data on pothole killing, number of accidents and number of people killed due to accidents due to potholes is not available. However, there is the Road Transport Ministry which gave a figure of about 11,737 people being killed in 2016 and about 10,136 being killed the previous year. The figures are not yet out for this year, and they themselves have said in their data, in the report, that these figures are only tentative, approximate, and the real accurate figures are not available. Now, this being the case, we have proposed this. It is before the select committee. I only hope and wish that the committee looks into it and makes the road construction agency criminally liable. And hello.
Yes. In fact, let me just on that note, let me just bring in.
The potholes.
Let me just bring in Dr. Ejaz Ilmi, who represents the BJP, the ruling party at this point. Dr. Ilmi, that is a very valid suggestion. We've been asking for this for a while, that 304A for criminal negligence be made applicable to the people who are looking after our roads, looking after our trains, looking after our train stations, so that when people die, that the municipality, the Indian Railways or anyone else who's responsible be held accountable. Dirupa, I'm going to come back to you. Dr. Ilmi, will the amendment of the bill consider this suggestion?
Well, I think so, because Mr. Nitin Gadkari has said so very, very
the
often.
same IPC sections... okay.
One second, I'll come back to you. Rupa, I'll come back to you. Dr. Ilmi, go ahead.
Well, the Road Transport Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, has said on numerous occasions that in fact, the entire cabinet also in 2016 has passed this Motor Vehicle Amendment Bill, which entails punishment for road agencies, maintenance agencies, faulty design, and for applying negligence with a punishable mandate for people responsible for causing death by sheer negligence, whether it's for road safety, road design, unmanageable road humps, other potholes, craters, all the so negligence. This is built in. And in fact, the Select Committee has met 3 times under the leadership of the Rajasthan Transport Minister, and we hope the bill is actually passed in the upper house in the winter session, so that there will be some semblance of accountability for people who are responsible for not filling up potholes or doing shoddy work, which kills and maims individuals in their thousands, and it's an unforgivable act and it's a travesty against individuals and all citizens, because the least we expect is there should be reasonable laws and punishments and deterrents to to people who are in charge of causing and maintaining these roads.
Well, with all due respect, Dr. Ilmi, all of that would just amount to lip service, because up till now, we haven't done an honest investigation on anything. If we even consider the stampede that happened in Elphinstone, that investigation has gone nowhere other than to blame the people who were there on misunderstanding each other from using different languages that Mumbai has spoken for decades. So where is the honest investigation? Where is the intent on the part of the government to actually hold people accountable? Not a single person has been held accountable up till now. And we've had deaths after deaths in all of our cities.
You know, in this scenario, or on the pothole issue, there was a case against NHI engineers, and they were held to be negligent. And actually, they got away because Section 28 of the NHI states that work done in good faith, they cannot be held liable to. So only when changes are made and these laws are abrogated and the Motor Vehicle Amendment Act comes into effect, can something like this be applied. Otherwise, even the police investigation, even if the person who survives, the charge is made on him for negligent driving and for causing death. Whereas the charge should actually be on the people responsible for creating those large craters and those potholes which have caused deaths and which is identified as one of the major causes, running into 11,000 deaths which have taken place in the last year alone. So there is need for change, and also we don't have any crash data assessment issue or despite being a technological giant, we don't have and all the applications measured where you can say a pothole is here, it needs to be fixed. Yet the civic authorities are lacking in sensitivity in doing that. The police investigation invariably puts the blame on the person who survives, that he caused the death of a co-passenger.
Let's take a look at this example, Dr. Ilmi. Let's take a look at this example. Let's take a look at the Elphinstone stampede, where 23 people died in one morning, and where it has been proven over and over again that there were over 100 tweets on Twitter pointing out to the Railways Ministry and to the PMO that there was a problem at this particular station. All of those tweets were ignored. Besides that, there were several members of Parliament who brought this up in Parliament. There were several requests being put in, but the work was not done. It is very clear here that there was no citizen responsible, that government was responsible. Government has neither apologized for this, taken responsibility, or instituted an investigation to find the truth. What are we supposed to understand from this if not a lack of intention?
No, there is no question of having no lack of intention in this scenario. You forget the people who deserve all the services and the delivery of services are the ones who elect various governments, whether at the corporation level or the central level. So to say that governments are largely insensitive would be, I mean, you can have that scenario, but it's the government, it's the bureaucracy, the police system. There has to be accountability, which can only come about by changes in certain laws so that there's applicability, and criminal negligence can be proved also in the court of law after due investigation process.
All right, I want to bring in D. Rupa. D. Rupa has something to say. Ms. Rupa, go ahead.
Yes. Right now, there is no criminal culpability of these road construction authorities, I mean the departments or the agencies. We put 304A, which is a normal section, but then what happens in the court of law is it doesn't stand, because the court will ask, was the agency or was the officer in the knowledge of this pothole? We have to prove that, and it doesn't stand. And secondly, the road construction departments are going to take the plea that the stretch of the kilometers is so vast or so long, lengthy, and we do not have enough staff. There is a lot of vacancy, or the staff is the scarcity, and so on. So along with making them criminally liable in this Motor Vehicle Amendment Bill itself, along with mentioning the punishment, there should be a mechanism to see that they are regularly informed, so that they cannot say that we do not know whether it existed or not. And that is why now this is the era of digital, it's the digital age, and there are startups. Therefore, apps could also come in place which make them regularly aware, the concerned officers, the concerned contractors, that this pothole exists here, so that they can't take a pretext that we did not know. And apps can come into place, as well as to bring in accountability. The roads should carry the name of the contractors of the road agency, so that they can be named and shamed, and also if the road is good, they can be rewarded and commended as well.
I just want to bring in Ramakant Gaur here. Ramakant Gaur is a lawyer with the Supreme Court. Mr. Gaur, my problem with this is turning around and saying we were not aware of the pothole. It is your job to be aware of the quality of the road that you are responsible for, just like it is the job of the Indian Railways to be responsible for the quality of the station that they are responsible for. How can they turn around and say we weren't informed?
Faye, this is something which is really...
Yes, the municipal corporations or the highway authorities are generally going to take this plea.
Yeah, Ramakant Gaur.
Ma'am, your investigation, you took 2 points. A, I acknowledge and appreciate that you have actually taken that responsibility. In your first statement, you took that responsibility. I acknowledge and appreciate that. But when you say that investigator has to prove, and at times we cannot prove that the agency or the concerned officer was not in knowledge of that pothole, this is something which is not palatable. Ultimately, it is your investigating agency's failure. Somebody in whose area the pothole is has to be held responsible. Otherwise, who else will be knowing about that pothole? And we are not talking about the pothole today. We are talking about the road present amidst the potholes. More than 15,000 potholes on Bangalore city's road. And we are talking about fixing the responsibility. And more particularly when Karnataka's Chief Minister says it is unfortunate event. He is not fixing the responsibility. They are taking away, they are simply shrugging off their responsibility. This is the state of affairs. And when some BJP spokesman says,
no, I have told.
Let me complete, ma'am, please. When BJP spokesman says that corporators and the other governments are other elected representative are responsible, I am reminded of Abraham Lincoln's quote that this is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. But this is not the situation. Our constitution talks about right to life, and what they are handing us over is simply death in the traps of potholes. They are not doing anything for that matter. They must be, the responsibilities must be fixed, they must be prosecuted, and your system of investigation must be so strong that the prosecution can actually take on the responsibility and
let me bring in N.A. Harris now joins us, Congress representative, member of the Legislative Assembly, MLA in Karnataka. Mr. Harris, over a week ago, the government in Bangalore counted 15,000 potholes and said 6,400 of those were deadly and can kill people. Why haven't these potholes been fixed in spite of the fact that you all have made several promises and now one more person has died? Are the lives in Bangalore that cheap? Are you willing to sacrifice 6,000 citizens?
Miss, this is not, I don't think, that is the kind of situation. See, the rain has been, the downpour has been continuous. We have not got enough time to actually do any kind of a job there. And every day it is raining here. And because of the rains, these potholes are increasing. That is the whole issue. And at one
so what are your potholes made of? What is the quality of the road that you have made that it crumbles in rain?
No. See,
what is this road made of?
Just
clay.
A simple rain. It was a heavy rain downpour, which has not happened for so many years like this. Suddenly the rainfall was much higher than the usual rain.
How much rain have you received in Bangalore?
We have received much higher than what we generally receive. Actually, I have a table here with me also, whatever the rain we have received, in fact.
Yes, please tell me.
We have, I think, received... we were supposed to receive around 900 millimeters, but I've received something like 1,000 plus. And in the period, the time period was much lesser than what it usually used to be like. It was continuous downpour. Otherwise, it used to be like in
Mr. Harris, do you recall, Mr. Harris, when Bangalore invites investors to the city of Bangalore, you normally compare it to Singapore. Do you know how much rain Singapore receives every year? Over 2,500 mm per year. Have you seen a pothole in the roads of Singapore, or do you want to stop promising people a Singapore-like state when you ask them to come in and invest their money and hire people to work in their IT industries?
Singapore has this rain every year, every time that has so much. It was not that what we were supposed to have. We were supposed to have around 750, and where we have got around 1,000 and odd. So, and it was more than expected. That is the whole issue, and we are at it. Another 10 years. All
so then, how do you justify the person who has died today? You have one more person who has died today. What are you going to say to that person's family?
No, I know, I do also sympathize, and I also take the same stand as you are taking on that death cause. Whoever is responsible, however...
Whosoever is responsible, you are responsible. The government of Karnataka is responsible. Come forward and take responsibility and say sorry.
See, I told you that first. See, I'm also having the same concern and feeling like you have. I'm also sympathizing with them. That which should not have happened has happened. Now, we are talking about somebody's life, and I personally feel, and I'm telling sorry for that family for whatever has happened. But see, the thing is, this was an unexpected event.
No, it was not an unexpected event. Whose fault was it? Whose fault was it? Give me a name. Who was responsible?
It is. No, how can I give a name for that one? How do I give a name? What are you talking about?
Answer for that.
No, there must be somebody responsible. This is what we were just talking about. Motor Vehicles Act. There must be somebody responsible for this road. Some corporator must have been responsible for this road. Who's responsible? Is it the mayor?
Somebody has fallen on the road. That a vehicle which has hit from behind. It's a vehicle which has hit from behind. He didn't die because he fell from the pothole alone.
So it's not the pothole.
The person was hit by another vehicle.
So it's not the pothole.
No. See, now he died because another vehicle hit him.
She died. She died. Have the courtesy to at least know who you killed. Have the courtesy to know who you killed. It was a woman.
You cannot talk like this. You cannot talk like this. You are also responsible for all these things. How can you talk like this?
How am I responsible?
You kill means what are you talking? You are also a citizen then. You can also come and do something like that. What are you telling? I am responsible for that. How can you do that?
Because you are the person responsible in the government.
Who's done it?
I know that. You should understand my limitations. You cannot tell that to me.
Your limitation is that you do not know who died. Your limitation is that you do not know
so angry so quickly. Now imagine those families who have lost their loved ones. Imagine how angry they will be.
Who has died means, what is that you are talking about?
You don't even know who has died today.
Interview with you. You have not told me what is the subject you are discussing with me. Who has died means, what do you mean by that? What are you talking?
You don't know who has died.
What is that you think you people are sitting there and doing? You want to just take on somebody
Mr.
and
Harris
tell you have killed the person.
Class,
this is what you want to do.
Mr. Harris, as a political class,
don't do that.
There is a sense of responsibility which we have to show. Mr. Harris has a sense of the political class.
Yes, see, the responsibility is for whom? For everyone.
Show our sympathy and sensitivity.
Yes,
you must be sorry.
You must
be sorry for that. You must be sorry that people in your state are dying. You must be sorry that there is some road in the potholes. You must be sorry that you do not know who the accused is. You do not know how to face the responsibility. You do not know to whom you should prosecute.
It could happen in Delhi. It has happened.
What?
Let me bring
Mr. Harris, it has happened in Bengaluru.
You know, Mr. Harris, there's someone I want you to hear. 1 second, calm down. Mr. Harris, calm down. There's someone I want you to hear. 1 second. I have with me Dada Rao Bhilore, who lost his son 2 years ago to a pothole, who is listening to you right now. Dada Rao साहब, आपने अभी भी सुना कि उन्होंने क्या कहा कि हमारी गलती नहीं है, सबकी गलती है, जो गाड़ी चला रहा था उसकी गलती है, जो पीछे से गाड़ी लेके आया उसकी गलती थी. तो सुन के
इनका कहने का मतलब है, अपने घर में जब दुख तैयार होगा, जिसका घर में जब ये होता है ना हादसा, तो उसको पता जाता है कि मैं गाड़ी चला रहा हूँ या मेरे पीछे बैठा हुआ मर जाता है, या मेरा बेटा जब मैंने खोया खड्डे के अंदर गिर के, तब दूसरे दिन उन्होंने खड्डा बुझाया. जैसा मैं अभी देख रहा हूँ बेंगलोर में भी उसी तरह अभी खड्डा बुझाया जा रहा है. यानी किसी का एक हादसा हो जाने के बाद इन लोग खड्डा बुझाएंगे और फिर वो अपना पॉसिबिलिटी ले लेंगे, क्योंकि उन्होंने देखा नहीं खड्डा था या नहीं था. फिर वो बोल देंगे कि मैंने खड्डा नहीं देखा था करके वो रह गया. और बाद में बुझा देंगे तो पता चलता है कि जब एक आदमी की मौत हो जाएगी तो वो खड्डा बुझाया जाएगा। तो ऐसा कितने अनगिनत लाशें लेंगे, कितने जनों के जान लेंगे ये खड्डे। ऐसा ये हादसा हो रहा है और ऊपर से कहते हैं हम खड्डे के बारे में नहीं बता पाएंगे।
I also want to bring in Amjadullah Khan, who joins us from Hyderabad. Hyderabad has a similarly horrid problem right now with potholes, and we're losing lives in Hyderabad as well. Who's responsible, Mr. Khan? Who's responsible?
Madam, the way the person from Congress was speaking, it is very bad. What happened is happened, he's saying. If someone from his family dies, then will he be saying like that only, you tell me? I am a regular visitor to Bangalore and I am from Hyderabad. The authorities, actually the main problem is that the authorities, whether it is the Bangalore Municipal Corporation or whether it is...
Let him speak.
Nobody's family it should happen.
Your words were like that. No, what has happened is happened. How can you say?
No.
You should. You are a responsible. You should take on.
Anything like that. No. See,
Mr. Harris, you represent the Congress government in Karnataka. Do you not represent? Aren't you here right now as a representative of the government?
What honest?
And you should take the responsibility, no?
Thing on somebody? No. 1 minute. You all sitting there to put the whole thing on somebody's head. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, the word what you said happened means what is that?
Anything.
No, I didn't say happened is happened. That happened because of the vehicle
Solution.
What happened is happened. The meaning is, jo ho gaya ho gaya.
No, I'm sorry.
You take
I don't think I meant anything like that.
Has happened under your leadership.
I want to say that I didn't mean anything like that when I said that. But no, the way you are anchor and you were sitting to put it on somebody's head.
One second. Let Mr. Amjadullah Khan finish what he's saying, please. Mr. Khan, please finish.
Yeah, the main problem is that, ma'am, these potholes are created because due to lack of coordination between different departments. One department is there to lay the roads, the other departments like laying of cable lines, laying of water lines, laying of sewer line, they do not have any interaction with among them. This is the main reason that these potholes are getting. The potholes is created due to heavy leakages also. So, and the quality is not being maintained. And in our greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, previously we used to have a team of filling of potholes. The regular day by day the retirement, the new appointments had not come. So whether it is Bangalore or whether it is Hyderabad, there should be a regular team to fill the potholes and they should be given the road responsibility, they should be given. Nowadays, no IAS or no officers are listening to the local leaders because there is so much of high corruption in the department that the contractor who has been given to lay the road, he has to pay nearly percentage. So the quality of the laying of road is being affected by paying this percentage also. Because of the low quality of the road, this all things are happening. See, when the road was laid recently, in our Hyderabad, I am having a lot of roads. Late 2 months back, now they are having these potholes. So who is held responsible for that, you tell me?
In fact, let me bring in D. Rupa, there are several reports right now in the newspapers in Bangalore saying that money has been siphoned off, that the government, KJ George himself launched a 972 crore rupee project to redevelop 30 major road stretches. Where is the money going? Is it true that corruption is at fault here?
It's not my jurisdiction, Faye. I'm limited in my jurisdiction, but I would like to say, whenever accidents or deaths happen due to potholes, please make them criminally liable. Right now, the law is not so much fortified, and I wish that in the new amendment bill, this is made criminally liable. Along with that, please also say that the citizens should come forward to give a complaint about the corruption angle involved, because potholes are definitely due to very poor execution, poor materials being used, and definitely there is corruption angle there. They have to be tried for it. the citizens have to come forward to give that complaint too. And secondly, the road construction agencies should make it a routine to make rounds of the cities or the highways of which they are in charge of, and they have to at least put the boards and proper street lights so that the citizens are able to see, the pedestrians or the vehicle drivers are able to see that there is a pothole. And definitely I know it takes some time for the potholes to be filled up. Even this time limit can be fixed in the law itself, and these points definitely could help in reduction of accidents.
I just, for the benefit of our panel, specifically for the benefit of Mr. N.A. Harris, yesterday 52-year-old Radha Anjanappa was on her way with her nephew to visit her mother. She was going towards Ramnagara in Bangalore. Ravi, who was her nephew, who was riding the bike, noticed a pothole and applied the brakes. They lost balance. A lorry carrying bricks was right behind the scooter. It ran over Radha Anjanappa's neck. That is her photograph on the screen right now. It crushed her on the spot. She was taken to Victoria Hospital and declared dead. On the 3rd of October, Anthony Joseph, 55, and Sagai Mary, 53, residents of JJ Nagar, were also on Mysore Road, the same road. They fell under the wheels of a private bus near KR Market because Anthony was trying to avoid a pothole. Their 8-year-old granddaughter, who was with them at the time, was injured but survived. This is for your benefit, N.A. Harris, since you said you don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about these people who died. Family members who've lost members of their family, they will never be given back again. Somebody is responsible. Who is responsible? Who's responsible for Mysore Road in Bangalore? Please tell me.
Both the incidents have happened in the BBMP limits only. I think, it comes under BBMP. And if you ask me who is responsible for it, I think the engineers, bureaucrats, whoever are there, and of course the contractor, whoever has done the road. And particularly we'll have to now check back to find out when that road was done and how it has happened. And this time in Bangalore, there was rain was beyond our expectations, and that also has escalated these potholes into becoming bigger and more thing. And with the department could not do any kind of a repair to it also. But if you ask me, I do agree with you that we may have to do an investigation into it and really find out who is really involved in that. And as Rupa was telling, I think
the rain was not unexpected.
No, not so much of rain was not unexpected, not expected. So much. So the heavy rain and the downpour.
Mr. N.A. Harris, which is the political party in charge of the BBMP? Which is the political party in charge of the BBMP?
The meteorological department in charge of has given the warning last month only that between 1 and 15 there will be a heavy rain in Bangalore and Hyderabad. So your department should have been ready with cold mix preparation or hot mix preparation.
Mr. N.A. Harris, which is the political party in charge of the BBMP in Bangalore? Which is the political party in charge of the BBMP in Bangalore?
BBMP is under the Congress party only now.
Which is the political party in charge of the state of Karnataka?
Yeah, government is our government, Congress government.
Do you not have an election coming up next year?
Yeah, we have, no.
Aren't you worried that with every person who dies on the road because of potholes, you will get fewer and fewer votes?
Yes. No, we are worried.
So, Sagai Mary, Anthony Joseph, Radha Anjanappa were all voting citizens. You don't want their votes. If we kill citizens like this, who will vote next year?
We are sympathizing. No, we are sympathizing with them and we are with their family. It is not that, it is not somebody has done something purposely here.
Sounds like somebody's done something purposely. On the 3rd of October, when Anthony Joseph and Sagai Mary died, they were promised compensation by the state of Karnataka. Do you know if they have received that compensation?
I am not sure about it, whether they have received. If they have not received it, I will see that whatever the government has said will be given to them.
We had a representative of the Congress party exactly a week ago on this show promising the exact same thing. None of those promises have actually been played through. Are you aware of that?
I am not aware of it.
Ramakant Gaur, go ahead.
See, Section 304A specifies whether if any action causes somebody's death has to be liable. It is very clear. Here the inaction of the municipal officials is so clear that the potholes are present on that road, and because of those potholes this death was committed. So they are simpliciter liable under Section 304A, no questions asked. Whether there is amendment in MACT Act or not, the law of Indian Penal Code is very clear. It is articulate. But there is certainly lack of willpower to prosecute.
But there has been
there
no
is lack of
conviction.
willpower.
There have been many cases where police have...
Faye.
The police have filed.
There is lack of willpower. Ma'am, the police has filed and police files the cases, but they do not prosecute. We see that every day in the courtrooms, that the prosecutors are not equipped, that the prosecutors are not properly briefed, also. The cases are not investigated, the investigation is botched up. Inevitably, in substantial number of cases this happen. We see that in the courtroom every single day, ma'am. So police do not do their job, that's something different. But today, when Chief Minister says, ma'am, please,
yes, but in Karnataka, prosecution is different from,
we are deviating,
separate from police.
No, one second, let Rupa respond. D. Rupa, in these cases of Anthony Joseph, Sagai Mary and Radha Anjanappa, has the police held the government responsible? Have you been able to file a complaint in these cases holding the government responsible for criminal negligence?
Now this coming under commissionerate, the exact facts and figures of the case, I do not know whom they have named, but I advise them that they should name the pothole, they should name the agencies who are in charge of that road for that pothole thing. Let them come forward to name them first in the FIR, and I'm sure the police will take it forward. In many cases they have taken it forward, but unfortunately no conviction has happened till date. Wherein contractor or the government officer of that road agency has been sent to jail because of the potholes. And therefore I am saying law has to be fortified to help the police, because I am telling the public that they should go for criminal, they should name these people or the officers in the FIR itself.
No, what about the existing laws?
They are sufficient.
No, but I'm saying the existing laws. Even the police has to be also do an investigation whether it was because of a human factor, a vehicular factor, or pothole or faulty road design factor. The police itself is not trained to distinguish between these factors. If it was, then at least there will be some cases which can come to court where culpability of the agencies responsible for those roads and for maintenance can be established.
I also want to point out one more case, and this is for the benefit of Mr. N.A. Harris. Mr. N.A. Harris, there was a gentleman called Umesh Pujari in the city of Manipal, which is also part of the state of Karnataka. He was riding his motorcycle. He, in order to miss a pothole, lost balance. His 18-month-old baby was killed in that accident. The police have booked Umesh Pujari for rash and negligent driving, causing the baby's death. He has been booked under IPC 337 and 304A instead of booking those responsible. So when the police in Karnataka want to, they know how to file a complaint. If they are filing complaints against a father for killing his child instead of the person actually responsible for the death. This is the situation right now in Karnataka, and I'm not the only one saying it. We have people on the phone line right now. Asif is on the phone line from Bangalore. Asif, go ahead.
Sir, first of all, I want to talk to Mr. N.A. Harris.
He can hear you.
Hi. Sir, are you able to listen me?
Yes, he can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, please, Asif. Tell me, Asif.
Good evening, sir. Sir, my name is Asif, and I am from Pelina Garden area, which is nearby to Tannery Road area.
Yes.
Sir, it's almost 9 to 10 months. The road was dug up. Till now, there is no proper response from the concerned authorities, and many times we have gone and told the people, because of this dug up road, there are a lot of potholes, which is causing a lot of problems, and whenever there is rain, we being a commuters are not able to ride our vehicles.
Well, who has dug the road, Asif?
Sir, I feel that both the people are responsible. One is BBMP and BWSSB. Once I went and complained, people will put a blame on BBMP. BBMP will put a blame on BWSSB.
Okay.
He's also on the phone line. Suneet is also on the phone.
I can talk to the concerned people and maybe try to help you out to resolve that problem, Asif.
Suneet is also on the phone line from Bangalore. Suneet, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the problem is far more deep-rooted. I think the politicians, look at the chief minister, whether he's of Karnataka or Maharashtra, wherever. They have 10 cars in front, 10 cars behind. They have an ambulance in tow. How will they ever sense the pain of a common man? I mean, their children ride, Land Rovers and all. How do they know how tough it is to ride a two-wheeler on a pothole road in Bangalore?
That's a very good point. And I want to ask this question right now of Dada Rao Saab. Your son died, आपकी बेटी 2 साल पहले गुजर गए थे और गवर्नमेंट का क्या रिएक्शन था उस टाइम पे? यहाँ महाराष्ट्र में बीजेपी की गवर्नमेंट है, आप बताइए।
हाँ, 2 साल पहले बीजेपी की गवर्नमेंट आई थी और उसमें जो शिवसेना के जो लीडर थे तो उन्होंने बयान दिया था कि हम कार्रवाई करेंगे। आज तक कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हो चुकी। 2 साल हो गए, ना हमें कोई पूछने आया ना मिलने आया। और बीएमसी का जो स्टेटस है, जो बीएमसी 20 साल से शिवसेना संभाल रही है, लेकिन उन्होंने आज तक कोई भेजा नहीं है क्योंकि उनकी सरकार वहाँ पे अभी भी है, लास्ट 2 इयर्स पहले भी थी। तो उन्होंने भी कहा था कि हम अपने जो आपके जो नुकसान भरपाई जो हुई उसका तो मुआवजा देंगे, लेकिन जिनके ऊपर कार्रवाई करेंगे वो एक है। जो मेरा बच्चे की जान ले खड्डे ले लिए है, अरे खड्डे बोलेंगे तो ये कि मामूली खड्डे नहीं होते, दिखने में तो छोटे छोटे दिखते हैं, लेकिन वो दिखने में छोटे हैं लेकिन कई लोगों की जान लेते हैं। ऐसे खड्डे होने पे आज तक तो मुझे भरपाई तो नहीं मिली, लेकिन सादा एक इंसानियत के नाते मिलने भी कोई आया नहीं है।
और महाराष्ट्र सरकार से?
महाराष्ट्र सरकार से बीजेपी के लीडर भी आए थे, खुद यहाँ पे हाजिर हो गए थे। उन्होंने टाइम्स नाउ के स्टूडियो में ही बोला था कि हम आपको, हमारी नई सरकार आई है और हमारे जो अधिकारी वर्ग है वो हमारे अभी मानते नहीं है, लेकिन आज 2 साल हो गए, आज तक मतलब 3रा साल उनका चल रहा है, लेकिन इस 3 साल में भी बीजेपी के सरकार में कितने ऐसे लीडर जो है तो उनके कहने का मतलब है कि अभी तक मानते नहीं और खड्डे रोड पे होते रहेंगे और ऐसे हादसे होते रहेंगे। जब हादसे होने के बाद खड्डे बुझाते रहेंगे। तो यही मेरी रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी उनसे कि पहले खड्डे बुझाओ फिर हमसे मिलने आ जाओ।
Dr. Ijaz Ilmi, as representative of the BJP, and obviously this proves that there is no difference right now between a BJP-run state and a Congress-run state. The citizens are suffering just the same. What is your response?
Well, every death is extremely unfortunate because it's unforgivable because the delivery of services is the promise that the government has to do at various levels. And when we do fail in our endeavor to correct or to have a mechanism which can alleviate and prevent these things from happening again and again, then obviously at some stage the fault lies with the ruling dispensation along with the bureaucracy. So I can't say anything to Mr. Dadabhai Bilore, who's like an icon, who goes and fills potholes himself in the streets of Mumbai. It is extremely well known, but it's a tragedy that there's nothing that political parties, only change in mechanisms, in rules, and having sensibility towards citizens, that they are the last and final stakeholders because of whom you are one is in power.
That's very eloquently said, Dr. Ilmi, that's very eloquently said. But tell me, how long will it take a BJP government to get to that point? You've had 3 years in the state of Maharashtra already, where you're running the state government, the local body and the central government. Nothing should stand in the way of the BJP government in Maharashtra of building the city of their dreams. But this is the city of our nightmares right now.
Undoubtedly so. All the national highways that are there, in fact, despite being a technology giant, there are modern applications, apps are used to identify places where there are craters. There are supposed to be special teams ready for hot, not only hot mix but cold rolling and cold mix patchwork that they're supposed to do within 24 hours. There is a sense of accountability which has to be applied for, and wherever there's a case of negligence, the government has to take action on those factors. But
Sir,
absolutely,
when will that happen?
I mean, there is no reason to absolve ourselves. There's no reason to absolve ourselves because we are also stakeholders in providing services. As far as the BMC is concerned, definitely the BJP has raised this with our Shiv Sena allies that we want this matter resolved because we can't hold the citizens of Mumbai to ransom every time there's extreme.
So when you raise the problem with your Shiv Sena allies, what answer did you get?
To do patchwork, Yes, that there are teams to fix the patchworks and make sure that these potholes.
Why are you still in an alliance with the Shiv Sena?
Is something that we're told.
Why are you still in an alliance with the Shiv Sena? If it's not working out on the city level and it's not working out on the state level, break that alliance.
Well, it's easier said than done. They are old allies of ours, and we hope that that we can also influence the Shiv Sena that they must do their job and their services that are required for the Mumbai citizens.
How old is the alliance, Dr. Ijaz Ilmi, between the voter and the government?
Oh.
And at what point will that alliance come into play? At what point will it be important enough for you to put it on top priority?
It's intrinsic. That's the first alliance. The voters is the most important stakeholder in a democracy. Without the voters, you can't be in government, and therefore that is the responsibility too.
Well, a mood of hopelessness descends upon this debate as we find out that there is no government with the intent right now to fix any of our problems. But N.A. Harris, for your benefit, I've pulled out the clip of your colleague, Mr. Surendra MG, who's part of the Karnataka Congress, who was on this show exactly a week ago, and he made a certain number of promises. He hasn't returned to the show, but you have. Unfortunately, this falls on you now. Please take a look.
I will come up with a report and then give it to you about the work happening on these potholes.
In how much time?
I mean, we'll have a periodic inspection, and then periodically I will send you the not to wait till 45 days also. Much before 45 days, I will ensure that there is a practical report being sent to you on what is happening on ground.
All right. My team will, on its part, do checks with you every 4 days. Where is the report, Mr. N.A. Harris?
I'm not sure about it, Miss. I will check on this, and maybe we can catch up after 3-4 days. I can assure you that whatever has to be done to those who have lost their life and the families, we will surely do that. And whatever my government has committed, we will 100% adhere to that, and we have nothing to say. But that BJP speaker who was sitting there was just taking on me, and what has happened, that person, his son, 3 years, nothing has happened, nothing has been given to him so far. He's telling what they have no answer for that. Just talking about, it is very easy to point your finger on others. See what your government has done there. See, it is all situations where we have to work together and see things are resolved and not to trouble the common citizens. This is what is very important, I feel.
Well, you know, it is.
I won't make this political because death is not political.
It is not, but that is what you did. No, when I just came into the scene, you were just taking on me for what?
What did I say? What did I say?
Your government has
what
done
did I
everything.
say to you, Mr.
As if your government has done everything.
What did I say to you,
are
Mr.
the
Harris?
best. You have not done anything there. See, just in front of you, you have an example. Please reply to that. Why you are taking on me?
So the government of Karnataka is responsible for more than 15,000 potholes. The government of Maharashtra is responsible
you check the potholes on every city and tell me which city has the highest pothole. Come on. You check the potholes of all the cities and tell which city has the highest potholes.
So
Let's understand from that who is doing what.
This is the way you behave. When it is the term.
What is that you behave?
You know,
what is the behavior?
You are behaving in an irresponsible manner. You being the political representative, you being MLA, you need to know what is happening in your state. You are not talking about your state. You are simply shutting up. You are simpliciter. shying away to take the responsibility. You do not know who is dying.
I will first of all thank you to be respectful of all of my panelists. Secondly, we are here on this channel right now discussing the fact, Mr. N.A. Harris.
I will answer to all those things
N.A. Harris. Mr. N.A. Harris, calm down.
Any responsibility, and I am not that person.
Mr. N.A. Harris, calm down. We are having this conversation because a week
you allow
ago...
somebody else to talk when I am talking, and he just goes on as if he is the judge of the court. He talks, and what is he going to tell about my behavior? He says in the judiciary they are not able to do anything. Police go without prepared. What are the advocates doing then? They should do some action on that also.
It is again.
Everyone wants to blame the game on others and get it away.
Now you are pointing out.
You are now making a spectacle of someone's death. I will thank you to calm down, please.
No. That is not. You are all sitting and doing the TV discussion itself on that. No. What are you doing a discussion about then? What you are just trying to point on me and somebody else? What are you doing? Come on, tell me that.
Mr. Harris,
when I say something,
job
you don't want to take it.
Is
when
to
he
report
says
the news.
You are talking
Your
about
job
that. What
is to fix the roads.
We are all responsible for the citizens. You are also responsible.
How am I responsible?
Get away with it.
How am I responsible? Please tell me.
Why are you not responsible? You are a journalist. You are also responsible
what am I
for
supposed
this.
To
Why
do?
you are not responsible?
What am I supposed to do?
What you are supposed to do? You have to sit and make a discussion on somebody's death.
No. What am I supposed to do? How am I responsible? Tell me how I'm responsible.
When you do, it is okay. And when I have to say something, it is not right.
Hang on. This is between Mr. N.A. Harris and me. One second. Let me speak with Mr. N.A. Harris directly. Mr. N.A. Harris, what do you mean by I am responsible for this death? Please explain to me.
No.
Explain to me what you mean by I am responsible.
From one side.
Mr. N.A. Harris, do you know what the responsibility of a journalist is?
Something good can be done. So somebody talks when his party does, no issues. Somebody says the judiciary is not doing, that is okay.
Mr. N.A. Harris,
when I talk, you have
Mr. N.A. Harris, you know what the responsibility of a journalist is? Do you know what the responsibility of a journalist is?
Yeah, tell me.
The responsibility of a journalist is to bring forward facts in front of the viewers and readers so that when they go to the polls next year, they know how to make a better and a more informed choice.
Not asking him who is responsible for that.
It is my job to tell the citizens of Bangalore and Karnataka the state of affairs so they can make proper choices when they vote next time. That is my job. It is your job to keep the promises you made in the manifesto of the state of Karnataka when you won that election. Do you remember the promises you made in the manifesto? Should I remind you of that as well? I have it with me.
First government who has kept up all our promises.
You've kept all your promises.
The government which has kept all our promises.
You've kept all your promises.
And we have worked as we have committed to the people of this state.
What is the work you committed? Please tell me what promises you made.
We have done all. Now, why don't you ask this question to that BJP spokesperson?
Let me read out of your. We'll read out of your manifesto. We'll read out of your manifesto.
That poor man's
solemn commitment to the people of Karnataka for a time-bound implementation of the promises. We take our manifesto very seriously. It gives us an opportunity to serve the people.
Also, whatever to these three people's lives they have lost, poor family, whatever we have committed, we'll do it. And the next 10 years, it will 10 days, we will do it. And
how many years? How many years will you take?
BJP person, what they have done.
How many years will you take? How many years will you take to fill the potholes? 10 years.
10 days, we will do it and tell you.
10 days. So what happened in the last 10 days? How are the next 10 days different?
Ask that BJP person, no, 3 years over.
I'm not asking the BJP person. I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Ask him also.
I will also ask him. This is a completely fair channel and we see no difference between y'all whatsoever. We treat all politicians the same and I don't care which party is in power. People are dying in your state, Mr. Harris, and you show little or no remorse or response to it.
You are talking to me. Talk to him for the three years what they have done. Why only talking to me?
Unfortunately, to our viewers watching this channel right now, this is what we have voted into power. The responsibility that we have to take is having voted these people into power. And I want to remind our viewers that Mr. N.A. Harris is an MLA. He is a sitting MLA in the government of Karnataka. He is a member of legislature who believes that he should not be questioned. We have callers on the phone line from Bangalore. Our phone lines are ringing. Floyd is on the phone line from Bangalore. Go ahead.
So I
Right.
ask you what
I have two questions for Mr. Harris. And
Yes.
for all the politicians who own states, please look at your own states. Mr. Harris, my two questions for you are, one, how many potholes are there from the Chief Minister's office to the Chief Minister's residence? The answer will be 0. Why? Is there no rain between that area? Question 2, I am a voter in Bangalore. I voted for this state. I voted for the Congress. I did not vote for the anchor of the show or this channel. There is no way you can blame what the incidents happening on Bangalore on them. You, as an elected member with my vote, have to put your hand up, take responsibility, and fix the issue.
Ashok on the phone line from Mumbai. Ashok, go ahead.
Madam, it is not only Bangalore, it is all over our...
please come in front. Let us
Hello?
One second. Hold on, Ashok. Mr. Harris, is there something you want to say without screaming?
No, I am telling you, I can't hear because it's not I am screaming. I can't hear you. There is a lot of time gap between your studio and where I am sitting. It is not I am screaming. There is a lot of time gap. It is not clear also. I can't hear you also. I am hearing you late.
Okay, we'll get that fixed. Ashok, I apologize. Go ahead.
Madam, we are really voting these politicians. It's not only one Mr. Harris or from BJP or other states. You see everywhere the situation is the same. When people like you from the press are taking out songs and all also like Malishka did, what did she face? Today you are taking up the issue, you are being blamed right on the national TV. So you can understand what is our mentality. What we are there. They are only to press or collect taxes from us, press their rights on us, but not do their duty. First, they should learn to do their duties, and then they should press on the citizen.
Right. Amjadullah Khan of the MBT in Hyderabad, Telangana has also portrayed itself as some sort of city and state of the future. But the citizens are suffering. What's going wrong?
Madam, actually, what is happening, whether it is in Bangalore Municipal Corporation or Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, whichever party is in power, their trade union wins the election in the Bangalore Municipal Corporation or Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. So, any incident happening, the police is booking the case. The union is protesting against the arrest of their officers. So the ruling party is getting under pressure and the police is unable to take any action against the culprits. This is the main reason which I have found in Hyderabad. When any incident is happening, when the police is trying to arrest any assistant engineer or deputy executive engineer, their unions, because they will be ultimately the ruling party unions only get elected. So this is also getting major problem. And
is this true, D. Rupa, is this true that the police are not allowed a free hand?
Round the clock 24.
Is this true that the police are not allowed a free hand to hold people responsible because they have political power?
There is well, there is so much resistance. Now, if you ask any engineer, he would say, how are we responsible for something happening on the road? And no engineer or none of his guild would buy this argument that they should be made criminally liable to this. Yes, there are pressures, but then if the act is clear and if the act really gives us the power, then we can absolutely book them. Now also we are booking, but the problem is it is not standing in the court of law and there is no conviction. So therefore law has to be fortified. There will be opposition, but then law has to be clear on this.
Dr. Isha Silmi, the unfortunate part about all of our cities is that nobody is willing to take responsibility. I want a commitment from you that you will go to the political bosses who run this country and tell them that the MV Amendment Bill must include culpability of those people responsible for our cities and their roads. There must be investigations. And we must have a clearer investigation into the Elphinstone stampede, which was responsible. The responsibility lies with the Indian Railways, the Union Ministry of Indian Railways.
Well, undoubtedly, the motor vehicle amendment bill, which is likely to come up in the winter session, having been passed by Lok Sabha, will radically transform our entire, as far as motor vehicle and its responsibilities are concerned, including road safety and design and data collection and proper mechanisms to hold people accountable. Definitely, Ms. Rupa is correct that the courts are bound to let them off. But once the culpability is established, whether it was vehicular in nature or because of faulty road design or faulty management or maintenance of roads by different agencies, then accountability can be set. And I'm sure that this will come through and pass in a few months. But it doesn't absorb. There are a lot of stakeholders in this. The police need to be trained also. The sensitivity of the political class is also required. It needs all stakeholders to come together because every life is precious. And the political class, I mean, obviously our heads hang in shame because despite the best of efforts, unless we are able to fix this situation, we are bound to be called as people who are insensitive. And a lot of people want to do good work, and there should be laws mandated and allowed to function to enable them to call for those laws and fix the accountability so that people actually understand. And there's closure for people who lose their near and dear ones. You want legal closure also, because if the cases fall through, then it's extremely traumatic for the the trauma for the family continues for the next 10, 15, 20 years.
Ramakant Gaur, how will the people who lose loved ones get closure? Or is this all lip service?
When Mr. Ilmi says that there has to be law, Constitution of India talks about right to life. So as a citizen of this country, I am given the right to life, and then I am given right to equality as well. Whereas when there is no road between Malabar Hills to the Secretariat, then how can there be potholes somewhere else in Bandra or in some other state, or in some other part of the Mumbai or some other part of the state? If you go to the Kolhapur or if you go to any other part of the state, you'll find number of potholes on National Highway. Last evening itself, I was traveling on a NH24, which falls in Delhi NCR area, which falls in state of UP, but comes under NHAI. My car had severe damage because of a pothole on National Highway. So this is what I experienced. So if you talk about the law, laws are there. There are enough laws. The only part which is not there is the willpower to imply those laws. Unless we do that as a political class, there will be nothing. There will be no results. So if we talk about the laws, please look at the Constitution, please look at the Indian Penal Code, and if you have willpower, you can actually prosecute these persons under the Prevention of Corruption Act, under the provisions of Indian Penal Code.
I have one question for N.A. Harris. It's a yes or no question, Mr. Harris. I want to know who's responsible for these 3 deaths that have happened on the Mysore road. I want to know that an investigation has taken place. And I want to know what the update is on the 6,400 killer potholes that Bangalore has on its roads. When will you be able to give us an update on all of these things? Will it be next week, the week after that? When can we check with you?
Give me 10 days time, I have told you. The Chief Minister today had a meeting with all the officials and we have directed them to fill all the potholes with another 10 days time. So give me 10 days time and we can, we can discuss again that, and I'm sure we'll try to do our best to close all this. And regarding the amendments to the law, I think something seriously has to be done where a fear is brought in and an accountability is also brought in where whoever are working, the bureaucrats or whoever responsible on that, and accountability, if we could bring in that, I think these things can be avoided. This is what I personally feel.
10 दिन में हो जाएगा. आपको लगता है 10 दिन में हो जाएगा?
अभी देखिए 10 दिन का साहब ने बोला है तो अच्छी बात है, खुशी की बात है. आने लोगों की जाने तो कम से कम बच जाएगी. मैं यही चाहता हूँ 10 दिन में आप 1 महीना ले लो, लेकिन पूरे काम फटाक से कर दिए, क्योंकि बेंगलुरु ही अकेला नहीं है, आपको बेंगलुरु कर्नाटक संभालना है, तो कर्नाटक के जितने स्पोर्ट होल है उतने सब आप भरिए. मैं आपको धन्यवाद दूंगा मेरे तरफ से, मेरे फैमिली की तरफ से सर.
Thank you.
Well, don't be so quick to say thank you, Mr. N.A. Harris. We are going to be on your tail. We're going to be checking every piece of work that happens in Bangalore, in Delhi, in Hyderabad, in Chennai, in Mumbai, in Pune. We will check every road and we don't care. And I want to remind our viewers one more time, we don't care which party is in power. The politics of it means absolutely nothing to us on this channel. We only care to see what work you're doing. And if your work is not up to mark, our job as journalists is to bring forward to the audience constant examples of when the government fails, so that when these audience members go to the voting booth next time, they know better. And they are more informed and they become better voters. We will not step back depending on which government you are, which politician you are, or which party you represent. Whether it is the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, whether it is the Congress Party in Bangalore, the BJP in Pune and in Mumbai, whether it is Hyderabad or it is Calcutta, you are all the same to us. Every pothole is the same because every citizen matters. We will not allow you to give us more promises of 10 days, 15 days, 15 months, put us in charge of this. If we can run the state and the centre and the city, we'll be able to do a job. None of you have been able to do anything. And nothing is standing in your way except your own lack of will. We are going to bring out the truth, and if the truth doesn't scare you, and if votes or the lack of votes don't scare you, then there is something horribly wrong with this entire system that we're running. Get to work, because we will not lose more citizens. 23 died in a train station. 3 have died on the same road in the last 1 week, and you don't even have the simple embarrassment to go fill the potholes to make sure that more people don't die. You have the audacity to come on the show today and say our Chief Minister has instructed us today, so in the next 10 days we'll get it done. What happened to the 10 days that just went by? If you had gotten it done by then, this person would be alive today. Shame on you. And I swear to you, if it is not done in the next 10 days, we will embarrass you right here on this channel one more time until every citizen in Bangalore knows that you have no intention to do your work. We will verify every one of your claims on the ground. You will not be able to lie to the citizen anymore. We're going to stay on this story because we believe this is more important than anything else that's happening in our country right now. Thanks for watching.